Oh, it's time to get it! Here are 50 amazing facts to blow your mind. Bonnie Tyler's iconic raspy voice was the result of vocal cord surgery. While she was meant to rest her voice, the healing process left her with a unique sound that became her signature. Chef Boyardee was a truly accomplished Italian immigrant chef named Ettore Boiardi. He began with sauce in 1928. His company imported more Parmesan cheese than any other company in America. He began when grocery patrons helped him can his sauce for sale. There are multiple islands in Canada larger than the entirety of Great Britain. Commercial planes get hit by lightning 1 to 2 times a year. In the 1990 film Pretty Woman, Richard Gere's car was a Lotus Esprit after both Ferrari and Porsche had refused to allow their cars to be used in a film associated with prostitution. As a result of the product placement, Lotus sales tripled. The oldest archaeological discovery of soup in Chinese history is believed to be 2,400 years old and was found in the ancient capital of Zan. Some bugs look shiny and green not because of pigments, but due to structural coloration. Microscopic structures in their exoskeletons reflect light in a way that creates a metallic or iridescent effect. Whistleblower of the Olympus scandal, aka one of the biggest and longest running loss-hiding arrangements in Japanese corporate history, was Olympus's own CEO Michael Christopher Woodford. He was fired after repeatedly questioning suspicious transactions and involving external auditors. The Bible contains a second list of laws, also referred to as the Ten Commandments. Scholars call it the Ritual Decalogue, and it includes a law saying that you shouldn't boil a young goat in its mother's milk. The Vatican Observatory is one of the oldest active astronomical observatories in the world, with its roots going all the way back to 1582. The Jesuit astronomers have contributed to discoveries in many fields, from the origins of our solar system to the structure of galaxies. The grandfather of actor Tom Felton, who's Draco from Harry Potter, is Nigel Anstey, a geophysicist who has made major contributions to seismic exploration. These were the foundations for many of the techniques used in today's oil and gas exploration. Nigel was born in 1927 and is still alive. The nursery rhyme Rockabye Baby was published in the late 1700s with a warning to the proud and ambitious who climb so high that they generally fall at last. The original significance of the rhyme is unknown, with many unverified speculations. Sean Diddy Combs has changed his professional name numerous times. First performing as Puffy in '95, he also called himself Puff Daddy, Puff P. Diddy, Sean John, his given name, Swag Diddy, Love, and Brother Love. I love you guys, no Diddy. Van Gogh only sold one painting during his lifetime, and the price was 400 francs or $2 in today's money. The color chartreuse is named after chartreuse liqueur, which is named after the Grand Chartreuse Monastery, which is named after the Chartreuse Mountains, which is named after the village formerly known as Chartreuse. The penis of the male echidna has 4 heads, while the female has a 2-branched reproductive tract. During ejaculation, the male uses only 2 heads at a time, allowing him to alternate between them. Grave robbers exhumed Benny Hill's coffin trying to find gold and jewelry. Timbuktu was a black settlement in New York in the 1840s, founded after abolitionist Garrett Smith gave away 120,000 acres of land to free black men to help them qualify to vote. Much of that land is now part of the John Brown Farm State Historic Site. The Sorbian people of Lusatia in eastern Germany speak Slavic language, keep bilingual signs, and still celebrate traditions like Easter, horseback parades, and intricate egg painting. Though small in number, they've preserved their culture for over 1,000 years. The Black Death caused an inflation of dowries in medieval Florence, which the government solved by establishing a public dowry fund. When a girl turned 5, families would deposit on the dowry bank on her behalf, which would accrue about 10% a year and would be withdrawn when she got married. After he was removed from command of the HMS Bounty by mutiny, William Bligh was appointed governor of New South Wales. His actions as governor led to him being deposed in the Rum Rebellion, Australia's first and only military coup. The average human body has 30 trillion human cells and 38 trillion bacteria cells as well. Oxford Dictionaries named the emoji face with tears of joy as word of the year in 2015. Mary Tyler Moore insisted on wearing capri pants on the Dick Van Dyke Show. Network executives were uneasy about the fit, fearing the pants were cupping under and too revealing of her rear. Despite initial fears, everyone thought it was great and the show was a huge hit. Richard Nixon's infamous "I am not a crook" line was not made in reference to the Watergate scandal, but rather to a separate allegation that he had committed tax fraud. Cher-Ami, a World War I homing pigeon who was shot through the chest, blinded in one eye, and flying with a nearly severed leg, yet still delivered a message that saved 194 men. $5.60 of each plane ticket funds the TSA. The song "Hawaiian Roller Coaster Ride," as well as a few others in the movie Lilo and Stitch, were sung by the Kamehameha School's choir. It's a private school system in Hawaii catering to native students. British Prime Minister Tony Blair wanted to relocate an English Premier League team to Belfast, Northern Ireland, to unite the community after the Troubles. European beer steins with pewter lids originated during the 14th century bubonic plague to keep flies out of your drink. If you can hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning. Angelique de Coudray, a 18th century French midwife, created a life-size childbirth mannequin to train rural women. Commissioned by Louis XV, her model was approved by the Academy of Surgery. In her 30 years of teaching, she taught over 30,000 students. Approximately 30 to 50% of the human population carries the inactive form of the Toxoplasmosis gondii infection at any given time. Proteins in oyster blood can enhance antibiotic effectiveness up to 32-fold against drug-resistant bacteria. David Bust suffered a leg injury in 1996 so severe that Manchester United goalkeeper Peter Schmeichel vomited on the pitch, and the match was delayed while blood was cleaned from the grass. After the retirement of Pele in 1977, much of the progress that American soccer had made during his stay was lost. There was no star player at the same level to replace him, so attendances dropped after 1980. The entire North American Soccer League folded at the end of 1984. Germany had officially bid to host the 1942 World Cup before the event was cancelled due to World War II. The first public flushing toilets were introduced at the 1851 Great Exhibition. Over 827,000 visitors paid a penny to use them, which led to the phrase "to spend a penny." The following year, public lavatories, referred to as waiting rooms, were officially opened. Neanderthals in Paleolithic Europe may have used manganese oxide powder as a fuel additive to add spark and heat to kindling for fires in the cold. They did this in the subarctic climate of Central Europe. Manganese reduces the temperature needed to start a fire by 80 to 180 degrees Celsius. Mel Gibson was American-born in 1956, but his father moved to Australia in 1968. For more than 100 years, beginning in the mid-7th century, some 50% of the world's Christians lived under Muslim rule. A European monarch vetoed the election of a pope as recently as 1903. There were thousands of indigenous peoples who allied and fought alongside the conquistadors during the Spanish colonization of the Americas. Titanic passenger Edgar Samuel Andrew was so angry that he had to board the Titanic, he wrote a letter on April 8, 1912. It said, "Right now, I wish the Titanic were laying at the bottom of the ocean." Giuseppe Siri, an Italian cardinal who was the subject of a conspiracy theory claiming that he won the 1958 conclave, but was forced to decline after being threatened that either he and his family would be killed, or the Vatican nuked, or an assassination campaign would be launched against the church. Manitoba flour is prized in Italy for its high protein content, ideal for making pizza and bread, and named after a Canadian province because of the origins of the wheat. The best guess for the next civilization-threatening volcanic eruption is around 17,000 years from now. The world's first postage stamp, the penny black, was issued on May 1st, 1840. It featured a portrait of 15-year-old Queen Victoria, and it revolutionized mail. Over 68 million were printed, and until 1854, when perforations were introduced, each had to be cut out by hand with scissors. The season 6 finale of House was filmed entirely with Canon EOS 5D DSLR cameras, primarily designed for still picture photographs. But it was one of the first models to include high-definition video recording capability. During World War II, John F. Kennedy was originally rejected for military service because he suffered from Addison's disease and chronic back pain. He used his father's political influence to join the US Navy. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please leave a like and a comment on it for the algorithm, because that's the only way you're going to see my content. And other than that, I will see you guys next time, and be sure to subscribe for new content coming your way soon.